Sampling in music is when you take a piece of already pre-recorded music and you then use that to make, as an element, to make a new piece of music.
Reappropriating it and hopefully making it your own in some way. So that's all sampling is taking something that already exists and using parts of that.
It was originally used in a big way in hip-hop, but I think it existed a bit before that. Like, for example, with Brian Eno and David Byrne's My Life in the Bush of Ghosts, they used a lot of sampling of you know, street preachers and Middle Eastern music and things, and put that together. So it's existed for quite a while.
The fun part about sampling is it's collage.
Cutting things out from other sources and making collages.
There's legal implications, there's copyright implications.
If someone can recognize a sample that you didn't get permission for, I think legally you're really not supposed to do that. So that's the legal rules, and the legal rules are sad.
If you want to make collage with music, it's not okay. Although collage with, you know, in art, in the art world, it does seem to be okay. You can't take a piece of James Brown and a piece of Miles Davis and a piece of Brian Eno and put them together, even though, in my mind, that's making an interesting statement. The way that the copyright laws are set up, that's illegal.
Copyright in the 21st century is always going to be an arms race between hacker types, people who pull music apart and put it back together in totally different ways, and the corporations that want to try and lock everything down.
They didn't take into account the idea that the sampler was going to come into existence, or the idea that copying was going to become an art form in itself. I think it's a serious problem and a hindrance to creative flow and freedom of ideas.
I'm a big partisan of open source culture precisely because it increases creativity and it makes for a much more informal social network.
This is a breakbeat that comes from a record from 1968, I think, called Amen Brother. It's just a loop. But it's actually one of the most sampled breakbeats in history, and it's become the foundation of whole genres of music. Well, at least a whole genre, jungle. That's like the foundational breakbeat, and but it's been chopped up and cut up into a million different variations.
And it's also wild to hear this break played over and over again by different musicians, and it totally works.
It's pretty distinguishable. I mean, you can tell what that, you know, when you hear that breakbeat. But people have really made it their own. A big dilemma with this electronic music culture is that when you use sampling, and you're sampling music that you don't own the rights to because someone else is the copyright holder of that music, then you're putting yourself in danger of being sued.
When I use a sample in my mix, one of the first things that goes through my mind is this recognizable?
The only rules that I have for myself when using sampling are just to try to avoid being sued.
We have all these great artists who ignore those rules completely and just do it anyway. And through the internet, maybe they release their tracks and they still get out there and get heard by people that'll appreciate it.
It creates a dilemma because a lot of the most exciting and fun new music that's coming out uses sampling, and it's not legal. Thank you.